Good morning. Welcome to NBC 10 News Eagles Training Camp Edition. I'm Keith Jones.
I'm Erin Coleman. NBC 10 is the official Eagle station, and only we can get you onto the practice field and up close with the defending Super Bowl champs as they get ready for the 2025 season. We've got you covered at camp today with live team coverage. Our starting lineup features NBC 10's Tim Furlong. He's going to be joined by NBC Sports Philadelphia's John Clark and former Eagle Barrett Brooks. And just like during the season, Eagles insider Dave Spadaro, he's going to be there as well.
I like Tim's playing card here. It's nice. Let's get right to it. Tim Furlong live at the NovaCare Complex. Good to see you, Tim.
Hey!
I'm looking sexy in that Randall Cunningham jersey. Kelly Green is so my color, if I'm being honest with you guys. You guys are going to have the easiest newscast you've had in a long time because Keith was out here this morning when it was not hot. We're out here now when it is hot. But you guys have it nice and cool in the studio. But I'll tell you what, I am so happy to be here. We have a full hour of Eagles, and Eagles today here at 11 a.m. and on Philly Live. This morning, the team's been out on the field doing drills, getting in their reps. It's all great stuff. One of the first players out on the field before practice today was Nolan Smith Jr., the defensive end shine at the end of last season. And in the playoffs, of course, he's expected to take on a bigger role this year on the D-line. In the last hour, defensive coordinator Vic Fangio, who might be my favorite guy since Buddy Ryan, talked about the competition to replace several starters on defense this year.
Yeah, we have a lot of battles going on for starting jobs in the different packages. We got some good players battling for it, and it will be interesting. If you ask me to predict who's winning those jobs right now, it's a guess. And hopefully we'll get them enough practice time and rep time that it will sort itself out.
And joining me now is John Clark. And John, if you do a good job, you get to take 87 pretzels with you.
You bring gifts.
I don't know why they brought so many pretzels. There's only like 3 of us here. But hey, we'll take it, man. Philly soft pretzels. JC, you and I have been doing this a long time, man. Coming off a Super Bowl, can they do it again? Is this a team that's built for another run?
Well, sure, they can do it again, but it's a lot tougher this year because you have a much tougher schedule. You've got a lot of road games against great teams. They're playing so many playoff teams from last year, and every single team is coming after you. You saw how tough it was with the Chiefs because when every single team is gunning for you, it is so much harder to win. The Chiefs were trying to get that three-peat, but the Eagles wanted it more. But you know what's striking me? We're sitting here, and all the fans enter right here for training camp, and all you hear is Merrill Reese narrating the Super Bowl win.
He's the voice of our childhood. It's like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
He and Dan Baker, I hear them in my sleep at night.
Yeah, now you've heard him narrate 2 Eagles Super Bowls, but it's funny because you're hearing that as the fans come in, but the players don't want to hear that at all.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Do the players, like, they're obviously proud of what they did last year, but do they have that? Do you really believe that psychologically you can tell yourself, last year's last year, this year is this year, let's get going? Can you really do it, or somewhere in your brain you're like, I don't know, man, we're champs, we just got rings? I mean, they're making it very distracting for these guys.
Yeah, I remember when Cole Hamels talked about when they won the World Series, the next year he was not as good. He spent so much of his offseason getting awards, going to dinners, getting a little fatter.
Yeah.
You know, they're giving you a lot of cake and ice cream and all that at parties. But I think this Eagles team, of course, is led by Jalen Hurts. Yeah. And you have seen what Jalen Hurts has said. He didn't even put his Super Bowl ring on his finger. He kept it in the box because he wants to make sure he knows this is a new mission, this is a new team. And I think when you're led by Jalen Hurts, he's not getting caught up in that, and he's feeling the disrespect of all the people who aren't putting him in a top 10 in the quarterbacks in the NFL. That permeates through the team.
And I do love, like, I know everybody wants us to have, like, this vocal quarterback, the charming, the Josh Allen kind of guy who gives you good sound bites. I just want the dude to win, and that's all this guy does is win. Even when he's not perfect, he wins. But let's talk about the other losses on this team, not to go negativo here, but what are the losses that you're most concerned about coming off the Super Bowl last year, the player losses, and can we make up for them?
Yeah, and that's probably the biggest question because, of course, offense, you're basically returning 10 of the 11 starters. So I think you're good on offense. But, yeah, on defense, you lost 4 or 5 starters on defense. But, you know, Tim, that is the reality of the NFL because you got to pay so many great players. Yeah. Now you're going to have to rebuild the defense. And I think that can be a good thing because you've got so much of that young energy coming in. Guys who are in their first or second year fighting for jobs with the old school Vic Fangio. But I think that competition, everybody feeds off it. And we talked to A.J. Brown yesterday, and he says it's his responsibility to help these young guys on defense, the rookies and the second-year players, get ready for the season. So I think that competition on defense, I think that's a really good thing to kind of keep that chip on your shoulder and that edge that this team needs.
All right, this is for all the pretzels. Prediction for this season. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, like, it's hard, like you said, it's hard to go back to the Super Bowl. Your prediction for this year?
All right, so what are you talking about, record-wise?
Record, and can they repeat?
Of course they can repeat, but think about this. The Commanders, right? They came into the link last year, Jaden Daniels, rookie quarterback. Yeah. He is now kind of in that Jalen Hurts mold where he's on a mission now to dethrone the Eagles. So you have a bunch of teams like that. Of course they can, but it's going to be a lot tougher. I don't think their record will be as good as it was last year.
Yeah.
And so will they get home field advantage for like an NFC title game in the playoffs? I'm not so sure.
Yeah,
that's
huge.
I think they're going to be in the mix.
Yeah.
As long as that offensive line stays healthy, I think they're going to be in the mix. You want me to say they're going back to back?
Kind of do.
For the pretzels?
Yeah.
All right, they're going back to back. Back to back. Thank you, Tim. Anything for these pretzels.
You're going back. John's going back to practice to watch practice. So maybe you take one for some of your fellow sports writers and on-air personalities back there, and camera guys.
Writers, everybody has plenty of free.
Yeah, everybody gets free food. Hey, thank you so much, John, for coming on. I appreciate it. It's great to see you again and catch up with you. I always love catching up with John. Of course, Jalen Hurts. He's quarterback number one, right? He's the Super Bowl MVP, but his backup, Tanner McKee, he's more than, just a second option. He's a talent in his own right, and he says he is grateful to be in the nest, especially after an early career cancer scare.
It was kind of weird because the doctor was saying, he's like, hey, the lymph nodes that we're going to take out, it's next to a nerve. If something does happen, we had to sign away that, like, I could lose, function in my shoulder and not be able to raise my arm. We're like, okay, that's my throwing arm. That would be a big deal. But I mean, ultimately, when you're kind of faced with decisions like that, you do your best, you pray about it, you trust the doctors and kind of what they know, what they've studied, and so and you just roll with the information that you have.
Tanner's remarkable recovery, one of 4 storylines we are showcasing throughout the preseason. You can see Tanner's full story on NBC10.com beginning August 4th and in our Eagles preseason kickoff special on August 7th. And speaking of August 7th, here comes the plug. That's exactly 2 weeks from today, and it's when you're going to be able to see the Eagles in preseason action for the first time. In fact, all 3 of the Eagles preseason games, they're right here, only on NBC 10. And still ahead this morning, we're going to sit down with Eagles insider Dave Spadaro. He was the master of ceremonies at the Super Bowl parade and knows this team inside and out. Hear his thoughts about how they can repeat. Plus, how to win your own Super Bowl ring. The Eagles are giving you a chance to win a Super Bowl ring of your own. Still ahead at 11:30, how to enter a special contest powered by the Eagles Autism Foundation. Now we're going to head back inside to NBC 10's Keith Jones and Aaron Coleman for the first floor forecast. And I'm going to figure out, I'm going to sell this on eBay. John took a pretzel and then put it back. And John is very handsome, and everybody knows John. He's got a huge social media following, so I'm going to put this on eBay, I think. So I could probably get at least 10 grand for that. So there we go.
Somebody
John's
will buy
pretzel.
that.
That's
I don't
coming
know
back.
about 10 grand.
That's gross.
But somebody, you can put anything on eBay these days.
At least entrepreneurial.
People buy
Tim.
worse, let's be honest.
This is true, Tim. Very true.
He's onto something.
Thank you, buddy.